This is Viewfinder, a game that takes everything that you think you know about the laws of physics and throws them right out the window. In fact, it would not be a stretch to say that Viewfinder has the most innovative gameplay of any puzzle game since the Portal franchise. So if you are a fan of the Portal series, I highly recommend giving this game a shot. While not very long, Viewfinder still does an amazing job at showcasing these new mechanics in this little world. And by the end of the game, I felt satisfied, feeling like I had learned everything there is to learn about how these mechanics work. Plus, Viewfinder has a very short and easy Platinum Trophy. In this video, I am going to be going over my journey to get the Platinum Trophy and all of the things that are required to do so. These first few trophies are in fact story related, meaning you cannot miss them if you play through the natural game's progression. And while we are on the topic of the game's story, or lack thereof, we need to address the worst part of the game, and that is of course the story. It is pretty clear that the developers from the beginning had one intention, and that is of course the gameplay. So while this may mean we miss out on a story, I don't really have a problem with that. My thoughts were simply too busy with trying to wrap my head around how these mechanics work. The main mechanic, obviously, is the ability to take photographs, and as you place them and orient them on your screen, they become reality. The developers also added in a very nice feature which allows you to rewind time so that if you do make a mistake, you don't feel like you have to restart the entire level. You can simply rewind to just before your last mistake and start from there. My other main issue with this game is definitely the length. If you go in blind, you can probably get the platinum within about 8 hours, and if you are reading a guide, you could probably get away with just 5. Now, after you finish the main story as shown here, it will be time for the cleanup trophies, and the first one is this trophy, where you have to basically complete all of the optional levels in the game, and they are a bit more difficult than the normal levels, but not by much. There are also just 2 trophies that you get for taking pictures. This first one, you only need to take 25 photos, and the second one, you have to take 100 photos, and both of these should come fairly quickly and naturally. There's really no need to worry about these ones. There are also a few trophies that require finding all of the collectibles in the game, so every major hub world has its own set of collectibles to find, and once you find all of them for each individual world, you will obviously get the trophy. That first one was a bunch of ducks, the second world you have to find fruit magnets, and so on and so forth. Now these are not particularly difficult collectibles to find. In fact, I found myself finding almost all of them just playing naturally. You may have to look up a guide for a few of the more tricky ones, but if you play naturally and keep your eye open for collectibles, you should be able to find almost all of them by just playing the game. When I picked up the final collectible in the game, it actually triggered 2 trophies, one for obviously finding all of the collectibles in the respective world, as you'll see here, and the second one for unlocking all of the filters in the game for your camera, and that is something that will just come naturally as you go for the platinum. There's not too many requirements necessary for that. The rest of the trophies in the game are miscellaneous, meaning that they are fairly random things that you have to accomplish in the world. A lot of them will come naturally, a lot of them will not. In this example, you essentially have to break the teleporter with one of your photographs, and this will be one that will probably happen many times throughout your playthrough. There are also a lot of trophies in this game that are beyond easy. For this trophy, all you have to do is literally push a battery off of the edge, whether directly or indirectly, and then you will see the trophy pop. This is another trophy that should come naturally. All you have to do is basically place a photo and land in it while you are falling. And obviously this can be accomplished at any point in time and should be fairly simple to obtain. There are also trophies for legitimately just petting the cat and holding a battery while you run into a wall. So a lot of these, again, are very easy and are going to come naturally without even trying to obtain them. For this trophy, you have to place this Game Boy-like device down and grow the sunflower to its maximum potential. And you basically just have to push the buttons a couple of times, and eventually you will grow the full flower. There are 4 trophies related to Dustin, this little green robot thing. The first of which being similar to the battery trophy, you basically just have to throw him off the edge, and just like that you'll have the trophy. You also get a trophy for legitimately just taking a picture of Dustin and cutting off half of his body in the frame, which will essentially cut him in half, which will then give you the trophy. You then have to make an army of Dustins, which I believe is 8 Dustins at once, and you can actually do this by duplicating the Dustins over and over and over by taking a picture of whatever Dustins you have, and repeating this process until you have 8 total. The last Dustin trophy actually might be the easiest out of all of those, and you basically have to place these blueprints that you'll find throughout the game, and basically just pick up the Dustins that are in them. So another thing I love about this game is the variety of the pictures and the little trinkets that you can find along the way. And for this trophy, you have to find this jump power up and collect it, and then for this next trophy you have to do this 3 times in the same level. So you basically have to just find the power up, take a picture of it, and keep duplicating it until you can get 3 of them. So out of all of the trophies in this game, this trophy might be the easiest one of all. The No Copycates trophy just requires you to attempt to take a photograph of Kate. Then there's this trophy where all you have to do is place this draw pad image and then draw on this screen with the green marker. And I did this on accident, honestly, as I did with most of the other trophies in this game. And some of the images and landscaping here are really truly gorgeous. Unfortunately for this trophy, you do have to destroy this little windmill with a camera. Later in the game you have that ability. For the Time Traveler trophy, you have to sit there and rewind for 2 to 3 minutes. I don't remember exactly what it was. And then the trophy will pop.
Oh, yo, what? That's sick.
This next trophy requires you to beat the level and the puzzle essentially without actually touching the battery to power the teleporter. So you basically just have to pick up the photo and orient it just right so that when the battery falls and lands, it lands right on the pad, thus allowing you to teleport without using the battery. Recursion Excursion is another easy trophy where you basically just have to enter this loop 15 times deep. Basically keep picking up the photo, placing the photo down, entering the new area, and repeat. Once you've done it 15 times, you will see the trophy pop. The next trophy, Everything in Its Right Place, is another example of the game using its cool mechanics in a cool way in order to obtain a certain achievement. In this one, you have to take the 3 photos and match them up in the world nearby, and doing so will get you the trophy. And then we have another super easy one. You basically have to just pick up these 2 cards and place them in the world. Nothing too crazy. The next trophy, Fool Me Twice, is one that involves perspective. You have to place that 1 photo down, and then look at this picture of the battery, and you should get the trophy. For the Battery of Batteries trophy, all you have to do is go to the specific level it mentions, take a picture of the battery, and keep duplicating it over and over and over until eventually you have a stockpile big enough that will trigger the trophy. So for this trophy, you will need to find the hidden picture that is on the top of this roof. And once you find that picture, you will place it in the world, and it will make an old style bridge. Take any blank photo and cut the bridge, and you should get the trophy. You also get a trophy for floating, I believe, 10 seconds on these balloons, which you will find. You just place downwards and let it carry you in the air until you get the trophy. For the Speed Demon trophy, you have to beat a level in, I believe, under 10 seconds. And this is probably the easiest level in the game to do this with. I'm sure there's a bunch of levels you can, but just simply do that and you should beat the level. There's also a trophy for going behind the waterfall and finding the little secret picture. And then you have trophies like the impeccable timing trophy, where you have to beat the level with literally 1 tick on the timer left. There's also a trophy where you have to slice a watermelon with some pictures, and I believe once you've done 3 picture slices, it should trigger the achievement. And for this trophy, after you've placed the painting with the screaming man, you need to continue to duplicate it like you have with other trophies, and once you have a large enough choir, you will get the trophy. And last but not least, you need to enter into the barcode forest by placing the barcode down and jumping into it. Once you've done that, you should have the platinum trophy. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.